Hello YouTube, it's Nathan again coming to you to do another 90 Day Fiancé recap video. So, before we get right into the video, I just want to wish everybody a happy Memorial Day. Give thanks to all the men and women who served this country. We thank you all for your service, and I hope everyone has a great day on Memorial Day, barbecuing, cooking out, going to services and everything. So, happy Memorial Day to everybody. So we're going to talk about 90 Day Fiancé today. Last night's episode 7. We're already halfway in the season. The season's gone by quick. So we're going to kick things off with Eve and Muhammad. Now, they start out the episode with Eve and Muhammad. They're about to go out and meet some of for Muhammad to meet some of Eve's friends at a restaurant. And right before they leave, Muhammad, Eve was all dressed up real nice in this long dress and stuff, and she had a jacket. But Muhammad noticed that her jacket was a little bit short, and that if you look real close, you could basically see through her really long dress, and the camera angle pinpointed that to make a point with him. I don't know why they did that, but okay, so you could basically see through her dress. Now, Muhammad made such a big fuss about it, so he asked Eve to put on a longer jacket, and she did, but she was not thrilled about that. So, right from the get-go, judgmental, get things started. And he keeps saying, in Islam culture is not normal, this, and that. I did some research on that, and it's half and half, and I'll get to that in a minute. So they go to the restaurant, they meet up with Eve's friends, and Eve's friends just start grilling Muhammad. They ask them, have you ever been with a woman before? Have you ever did anything with a woman before? And Muhammad just basically said, why are you guys asking these questions? And he was being judgmental because all of Eve's friends were showing a little bit of cleavage. And I'm and it really wasn't much. It really wasn't all that noticeable. And he was just so uncomfortable with them grilling him. And I see his point, they're not used to that. He's not used to that, but he's really trying to adapt to the American culture. And he's not realizing that we're not in Egypt and in a Muslim country right now. So they're grilling him, asking him inappropriate questions. He's uncomfortable. Then it was brought up that he didn't like Eve's dress and stuff. Eve called him out in front of everybody. He got mad at that. So on the car ride home, they got into a big fight about it. Eve said, I do not want to be judged. You met me. I was wearing a bikini when you met me. And you liked me, and then now you're judging me, you're judging my friends and stuff. And he keeps saying, oh, and Islam culture is not normal. Okay, yeah, it may not be normal, but he's not in Egypt right now. And both parties do need to try to compromise with the cultural differences. He's trying to follow his rules, and we're here in America where we're free to do whatever. So it's a mixture of things. But my thing is that he is coming off. Muhammad is not becoming my biggest fan because he is coming off very, very controlling. Like a 25-year-old telling a 48-year-old really what to do and what to wear and stuff. And even Eve's friends at the restaurant said, my husband works hard, and she said that her husband works hard, doesn't judge her, lets her wear whatever she wants. They have a trust and bond, and he was trying to understand and get Muhammad to understand that. So I don't know, it's just me, but Muhammad is just really coming off really judgmental and controlling. Now, we all will be a hypocrite to say that, to complain that he's being judgmental when, you know, everybody in this world is judgmental. I'm judgmental. I mean, I'm judging this recap video right now, being judgmental about him being judgmental. So it's normal. But, you know, when you're in a relationship and you're about to get married and stuff, and a control and being that controlling, it's not going to be healthy. So I hope they can work that out. But as of right now, Muhammad is not one of my favorites right now. So I'm leaning towards Team Eve at the moment. So I hope they can figure it out. Next up, we've seen a lot of this couple. My favorite couple is Kara and Guillermo. Now, this episode, Karen, you know, in previous episodes, Guillermo couldn't catch a break. Everywhere he goes, he just gets grilled and just finding things out about Kara that it's just like draining with him, you know. So this episode, they're preparing for Kara's high school reunion, and you know, Kara is that nice little balloon maker for her hobby and stuff, so she was in charge of creating the balloons for it. So their scene starts out of them getting the balloons ready. Kara was acting a little bit much, just trying to get everything ready in a short amount of time. You know, Guillermo was playing and throwing balloons at her, and they got into a little argument about, why are you being fussy? Why are you being so uptight right now? Just relax. She was like, I'm just trying to get this done before the reunion, you know. He gave her some advice and she wouldn't take it. She was just like, do this now, please, and everything. And then, you know, at the end of that scene, there was some balloons left. Guillermo wanted to give like these other, the other kind of balloons that get inflated inside that's kind of hard to pop. He actually had mentioned that he wanted to give those balloons to the kids, and Kara just popped them. And when she popped them, it was like he like popped his heart, basically. He's like, whoa, stop, don't do that. I wanted to get that to the kids. And she just rolled her eyes like, I don't care, you know, basically. So, you know, I felt bad about that. But anyway, later they go to the high school reunion. You know, Kara's having fun with everybody and everything. And here's the awkward part. Kara runs into her ex, and you know, her and the ex start having he is basically like a rapper and stuff. Like, he had the hat on and long hair and stuff. Came out really, I would say, confident, and that's being nice. Confident and stuff, you know, and they were talking about their times and stuff. And so Guillermo came over, he met Kara's ex, and he started questioning him and stuff. And it was revealed that they broke up. Kara's ex and Kara broke up because Kara cheated on him. And Guillermo didn't know that. And so he was really shocked by hearing that. So later they come back to help clean up at the reunion, and you know, they get into a big conversation about that. You know, it's like, I can't. Guillermo's kind of questioning everything. I'm like, man, she cheated, and not only that, she said that she admitted that she cheated twice before in a relationship. So it's not even like you did it once, but she did it twice. So now Guillermo's questioning everything, and you know, and while Guillermo and Kara's ex were talking, he asked, her ex asked, does she control you sometimes? And he's like, yeah. You know, he didn't want to like flat out say it to upset her, but yeah, she could be controlling. And you know, it was obviously shown while they were help setting up. So, you know, trouble in paradise a little bit, but you know, Kara and Guillermo, they're still my favorite couple. You know, Kara is I still think Kara's in the wild party lifestyle, even at age 29 to 30 and stuff. I still think that she's still in that lifestyle. And Guillermo, who's 23, I feel like he's more mature and trying to settle down, but he's just not catching a break, you know. So I wonder how this is all gonna play out at the end, but I'm pulling for them. Next up, and here's another favorite couple for everybody, but you know, it's a little questionable, and that's Emily and Kobe. Now, as we know, you know, they had a son. And the son is 17 months old at this point. You know, the first night, Kobe had to sleep in the other room so that the baby can get to sleep on his own or whatever. So they wake up. Emily and Kobe get into a fight about how to parent, and she was trying to teach him how to change a diaper, and Kobe was like, "I know how to change a diaper. I'm really good with kids. Like, relax and stuff." And then they had plans to go out into the city in Kansas where they live to show the town. And they got into it, and Kobe was like, well, "Can I drive?" And she was like, "No, you're not driving my car with my baby." And Kobe was like, "Well, it's my baby too, and I could drive better than you." It was like a "no, you can't, yes, I can" type thing. But Emily drove. They got into an argument. They got over it. She showed them the city in Kansas where they live and whatever. And Kobe, he's the city in Kansas that they live in seems pretty small. And Kobe, when he was saying that expecting to be in the United States, he's kind of expecting like the bigger cities like Miami, New York, and all that stuff. Not like a small town in Kansas. So, he's a little taken back by that, but, he has to realize that the United States is a really big country, and there's just so much. So, there was that. Then later in the episode, they show Emily. Emily actually had to go to work, and there's just left with Emily's mom and Kobe with the baby. And, Kobe wants to spend a lot of time with Coben, at first, and, Emily's mom was hovering over Kobe the whole time, and he was getting frustrated because, like, this is my son, I know what I'm doing. I don't need nobody, like, behind me. This is my son, and I'm trying to get to know him or whatever. And so the mom basically backed off a little bit, and then we seen Kobe and Coben playing and stuff, playing with the toys all over. It was pretty cute. It was a nice little father-son moment. Now, when Emily got home from work 5 hours later, Kobe offered her something that was from his country of Cameron, some kind of like nutty food and stuff. And he asked her if she could give it to the baby, and she's like, no, because she said, here's her words, it was a choking hazard and stuff. Now that sounded a little bit dramatic, but but I think like little nuts for a baby that really is. But he said in Cameron, kids eat it all the time. But, she didn't want to take that risk or whatever. So it was just like, whatever. But, Emily and Kobe, like, they just done a complete, like, 180 from their airport scene to that first night scene to where they're at now. Because the airport scene and their first night alone and stuff was just all daisies and roses. And now they are fighting like crazy in the first couple days. A lot of these couples in the first couple days are just fighting, arguing, and bickering. Now, their parents now, and both of them are keep saying that, like, oh, the Kobe and China wasn't like this, and Kobe saying, oh, the Emily and China wasn't like this, but you guys are parents now, so that does change your dynamic of a relationship. Plus, you guys were only supposed to be a one night fling, and now you're parents, so yes, things are going to be a little bit different when you have a kid, so think about it. So that was Emily and Kobe. Next was Bilal and Shida. Now, they only got one scene on this episode, which was a little bit refreshing after what happened last week. But this week was actually their best romantic scene that they had. They actually had a scene where they got all dressed up. They went on this nice little boat ride. There was no arguing. They still brought up the kid thing. Shida wants kids. And Bilal was just saying, you know what? I've had a marriage before and I've had kids. I don't know if I could deal with the heartbreak of another failed marriage with kids. Like, I know he wants to give Shida a kid, but he's already a father and he doesn't know. But that was basically the only thing that they talked about. But this scene, them on the boat ride, romantic, so far was their best scene of the whole season. I was glad that they did not fight. I was over them fighting and bickering and lecturing each other over things. So Bilal and Shida, it was just nice and refreshing. Next up was Ari and Benny. Now, Ari and Benny, they are the veteran couple on here. So basically, Ari and Benny, Benny went on a video chat with his sisters who don't really like Ari, and they're just talking about how things are going, and stuff, and they're trying to prepare for the worst, pray for the best type thing. And Benny wants, his dream is to become an MMA fighter here in the U.S. and stuff, and and he wants to be here in America to be with Ari and be with the baby. Now he's scared that if him and Ari don't work out, like, will he go back to Ethiopia? He said he's gonna do everything he can to, like, at least keep the baby, like, because he actually has another kid with somebody else that doesn't allow him to see him. So he doesn't want that to happen with Ari and Avi. So the sisters, not knowing, like, the American concept that well, came up with the brilliant idea, well, if it didn't work, she should help you with getting a green card. So later they go into have, like, a family dinner where Benny meets Ari's rest of the family, and he had brought that up. And when he brought that up, everybody was just like, what? I'm like, do not mention the word green card and not working it out with Ari in the same sentence. basically, because that did not really come out right. That didn't come out the best, Like, but Benny he told the family he does want to be an MMA fighter and stuff, and I hope that dream comes true for him. I think in a little bit of a spoiler, I think he does do a little bit MMA fighting, and I've seen, like, YouTube videos and Instagram videos of Benny having fights and stuff. So I do think that actually does happen. But, bringing up the green card thing, was not the best idea, because the number one thing Americans say to foreigners when they're here is, you're only here for a green card. And I feel like that's pretty rude when people here do that. But when he said that in that sentence, if it didn't work out with Ari, she could still help me get a green card, that wasn't right. so that was basically it for Ari and Benny. But I hope, like, Benny's dreams come true. And, Ari's parents are saying Ari needs to get a job as well. Ari is like, Ari and Benny, when I first saw them on their first season of The Other Way, and back in season 2 of The Other Way, I was Team Ari. I loved her smile and everything. She moved to Ethiopia to be with them and stuff. And then after she had the baby, her dynamic changed. She became more bossy and naggy. Benny couldn't do nothing right. And Benny made a lot of mistakes too. But, Ari is just, like, constantly on his tail a lot. And, and I don't want that to scare him. And I think that's why Benny's sisters don't like her. And I like Ari. But, I do think she needs to relax just a tad bit. I know she's been through a lot, she's put up with a lot, but, I think the more that she does that, the more it's going to push him away, and more for him to do more mistakes. So, I don't know. Next up, we've seen Jabri and Miona. Now, Jabri and Miona, it started out with them going to Jabri's grandmother's house. Miona got to meet the grandmother. They came in nice matching pink outfits, and his grandmother lives on a farm, and they came in and helped out a little bit on the farm. Again, this couple reminds me a lot like Brandon and Julia, So they go to the farm, they help out a little bit or whatever. And Jabri's grandmother and Miona had a nice conversation, and Miona mentioned to the grandmother that Jabri's mom brought up about what she should wear around the house. And the grandmother was like, yeah, she's a little bit more conservative than I am, but she is just trying to look out for you. So, just take it for what it's worth and stuff. I know how she is, or whatever. So, that was basically that. Then later, Jabri got a call saying that he needs to go to Chicago, because remember, he's in a band, and their band has, like, a gig in Chicago. And Miona was like, I don't want to go to Chicago. And Jabri was like, well, do you want to stay here? She's like, no, I don't want to stay here either. I don't want to stop you from doing your music, but, we need to focus on our relationship and stuff. And Jabri's like, well, this can make us some money, this, and that. And then on top of that, Jabri's best friend David, him and Miana don't get along. So he's kind of worried about that. But Miana decides that she's going to go with him to Chicago and hopes to get along with David. So after a little bickering of back and forth with that, I personally think that, that I think that Jabri and Miana, they need to just focus on the 90 days and like get that situated before he goes start traveling all over the place with the band. Because they have to get married in 90 days. They got to work on a relationship. They got to agree on a wedding because she's still adamant about the beach wedding. So she really wants that beach wedding, and he doesn't want that right now. So they're fighting and fussing over that. And, Jabri and Miana, they haven't, besides their airport scene where he did the red carpet and everything in the Scream, that was their only romantic scene so far that we've seen this season. We're 7 episodes in, and that was their only romantic scene so far. So, it's so early in the season, early in their 90 days, and it's just a lot of these couples are just bickering and fighting just right from the get-go. So I hope they can really, really figure that out. So basically that was it for the episode. We did not see Patrick and Thais and John, but I will say the previews for next week's episode looks intense. It looks like, based on the previews, it looks like Eve is going to try to convert to Islam or do something Islam to please Muhammad. It looks like Benny's going to start training to be an MMA fighter, but I guess he starts training with a girl, and Ari's going to come in and cause a scene. I guess, like, Jabri and Miana do go to Chicago, and I guess Jabri and David are going to get into a fist fight about something. So I can't wait for next week's episode. But so that was this week's episode. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel, guys. I'll be posting more videos. I'll be back on Wednesday because Catfish returns tomorrow night. So I'll be recapping the first episode of the new season of Catfish. And then Married at First Sight on Wednesday and Thursday. And I'll be just posting a lot more videos. My shows are in full swing right now. So more content coming out. So thank you guys again for watching. Please like and subscribe again, and be sure to watch more videos, and happy Memorial Day.